Well, today, South Carolina basketball get great news. They one of the biggest gets in a long, long time here in the Midlands. P.J. Dozier said yes to the Gamecocks, and this guy sitting next to me has been saying yes for a long time. The captain, Cary Rich, I know you're a happy, happy Gamecock tonight.
I am a happy Gamecock, and I wish you would have told me that you were dressing up. I would have put on my dress attire. But
No need to.
huge get for the South Carolina Gamecocks, and also a big day for P.J. Dozier. I guess they dispelled the notion that was associated with the whole recruitment of P.J. Dozier, that no way, no how does South Carolina be able to get P.J. Dozier to come. Most people had P.J. going to Louisville or even Georgetown or even North Carolina, but great job by Frank Martin and his staff with the primary, Lamont Evans as the assistant. Those guys were very strategic in their approach when it came to the recruitment. What a big, big get for the South Carolina Gamecocks.
When you look at P.J. Dozier, he's one of those Magic Johnson types of players, Captain. He's 6'6", 6'7", a point guard, can shoot it, can dribble and drive, very athletic, and a high IQ on the basketball court. What does that mean for South Carolina next year when this guy gets on campus?
Well, it means South Carolina gets 3 players as opposed to 1.
Nice.
Because he is multidimensional,
Right.
and you often hear people say that this guy is a very good ball handler. Well, he's a little bit more than just a good ball handler. He's a terrific guy with a high-level skill set, meaning he passes, he shoots, and he handles the ball tremendously well. And now you add to the fact that when it comes to his IQ, he's off the charts. Wow, what a big, big get. And if you're a guy that likes to score the basketball, you want to play with this guy because he's going to make the right decision with the ball in his hands.
Now, P.J. could have gone anywhere, as you alluded to earlier, anywhere he wanted to. I mean, you think about Louisville, Kentucky, Calipari, those guys who I know you have admiration for, these great coaches coming into your house and your living room. He chose South Carolina, a program that's working its way back up. Is this a Marcus Lattimore, Stephon Gilmore type of deal here?
Absolutely. Sindarius Thornwell was Stephon Gilmore. P.J. Dozier is Marcus Lattimore, I think, when it comes to just changing the perception of South Carolina basketball. And you talked about how hard South Carolina worked. Lamont Evans and Frank Martin as the closer, the entire staff, they didn't wilt. You talked about some of those big-name coaches and some of the big programs that were associated. You know what? Those guys stayed the course. They stayed consistent with what they wanted to do and how they wanted to recruit P.J. Dozier, and it turned out in their favor today.
Well, he had the knee injury. He successfully came off of that, playing well. But you know what I was really most impressed with today, Captain, when at the press conference, was how he handled himself in front of a packed gym, a ton of media folks there. This guy, nice suit, bow tie, looked the part, and he spoke the part. And it made me somewhat remember about how Christian, these guys, young guys who are mature, somewhat beyond their years.
They get it.
Yeah.
And it defies the myth, unfortunately, that's associated with a lot of the high school kids, a lot of the high school athletes that we cover. They embody what we want to see from the high school student athletes. Not only are you very good students, you're well-mannered. You get it when you get in between the lines. And those are the kids that coaches want to recruit. They don't want to recruit the kids that they have to manage in a different way. And I think with what we saw from P.J. Dozier today, I think he exemplifies, he embodies what so many other coaches want to see in our young student athletes.
I remember years ago when I played pro ball, left South Carolina, come back and watching you, JoJo English, Joe Rett, Barry Manning, guys that were from right here in Columbia that made up a large part of South Carolina's basketball roster. Is this kind of that movement once again? Because I think, you know, when you got a guy like P.J. Dozier setting the tone, there's some other really good basketball players in the Midlands. Can we kind of see that again?
I hope so. But getting P.J. Dozier was a start. Getting P.J. Dozier was, I thought, a must. Because if you don't get P.J. Dozier, I think it really makes your chances of getting Tevin Mack, Seven Woods that much more difficult. I think it was key to get P.J. Dozier today, especially with him announcing first. Now we'll see what happens with Tevin Mack tomorrow. Seven Woods is next up after that. Then you have guys like Devontae Shuler. There's some talent in this city, and getting P.J. Dozier again could be a sign of where we should see this basketball program in a few years.
Well, you know what? Cary Rich was JoJo English, all those guys. Now, real quickly, which one were you? I mean, like when you look at the P.J. Dozier, Seven Woods, where was Cary Rich?
I don't know. I can tell you one thing. I wasn't P.J. Dozier. I can tell you one thing. I wasn't P.J. Dozier, and I don't think I had the highlight film like Seven would. So I don't know. But
Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle.
You would find him, the captain, Cary Rich. Coach, I want to announce Captain will be joining me every week for a nice basketball show here. We'll have some chalk talk, break things down, high school and the Gamecocks. So I'm looking forward to that. You don't want to miss it. The Captain _3 now. Follow him on Twitter. The best man when it comes to high school basketball and college that you can find. All the news and notes and all the breakdown is right here. All right, that's going to do it for sports. We'll be back in a moment.